천일국 깃발 전진 참부모님 소망하도다. 고대양 육대주 천주까지도 억만세 태평성대 길이 빛내세 행복 천일국.
Let's begin. Today is the 16th day of the second month in the 9th year of Channel Group, March 28, 2021. To begin our day, let's offer our respect and gratitude to our Heavenly Parent and true parents of heaven, earth, and all humankind. 천지인 참부모님께 경배. 바로 Let us recite 가정맹세.
가정맹세 1. 천일국 주인 우리 가정은 참 사랑을 중심하고 본향 땅을 찾아 본연의 창조 이상인 지상천국과 천상천국을 창건할 것을 맹세하나이다. 2. 천일국 주인 우리 가정은 참 사랑을 중심하고 하늘 부모님과 참 부모님을 모시어 천주의 대표적 가정이 되며 중심적 가정이 되어 가정에서는 효자, 국가에서는 충신, 세계에서는 성인, 천주에서는 성자의 가정의 도리를 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다. 3. 천일국 주인 우리 가정은 참 사랑을 중심하고 4대 심정권과 3대 왕권과 황족권을 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다. 4. 천일국 주인 우리 가정은 참 사랑을 중심하고 하늘 부모님의 창조 이상인 천주 대가족을 형성하여 자유와 평화와 통일과 행복의 세계를 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다. 5. 천일국 주인 우리 가정은 참 사랑을 중심하고 매일 주체적 천상세계와 대상적 지상세계의 통일을 향해 전진적 발전을 촉진화할 것을 맹세하나이다. 6. 천일국 주인 우리 가정은 참 사랑을 중심하고 하늘 부모님과 참 부모님의 대신 가정으로서 천운을 움직이는 가정이 되어 하늘의 축복을 주변에 연결시키는 가정을 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다. 7. 천일국 주인 우리 가정은 참 사랑을 중심하고 본연의 혈통과 연결된 위하는 생활을 통하여 심정 문화 세계를 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다. 8. 천일국 주인 우리 가정은 참 사랑을 중심하고 천일국 시대를 맞이하여 절대신앙, 절대사랑, 절대복종으로 신인의 일체 이상을 이루어 지상천국과 천상천국의 해방권과 석방권을 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다.
For our opening prayer, let us welcome our administrator in Sonoma International Academy, Mr. Roberto Mendoza.
Let us pray. 존귀하신 하늘 부모님, 존귀한 참 부모님, 존귀하신 참 어머님. We can only feel grateful that we are living in this day and age of our true parents, an era that you have waited for your will to be substantially accomplished on this earth. and be substantially manifested in the lives of your sons and daughters. The blessings you continuously pour upon us and the victories our true parents have manifested all throughout connected humanity to your heart and will. As blessed families, as brothers and sisters who understand your heart and will and are working for its victorious accomplishment, it is our portion of responsibility to let people know, the people around us, that they can feel your presence, they can feel your heart, and they would know the greatness that our true parents have accomplished all throughout their mission, their life, and their influence in the worldwide arena in substantially bringing peace and building your kingdom here on earth. Heavenly Parent, let our talents, our skills be used for us to live for a greater purpose and for your will to be done, Heavenly Parent. We may be faced with these great challenges that the world is facing now, but we can only learn that throughout history, it is during these trying times that you can find your people of faith, your sons and daughters arising, standing before you, and that through the lives exemplified by our true parents, that we can only be victorious once we are connected in heart with our true parents and we understand how you have been working in the providence and allowing us to be connected, that through these experiences that we are having, that we can truly inherit the blessing that our true parents wanted us to have in our life. Heavenly Parent, let this gathering of Honduke this morning be your instrument to again share your heart and let us understand what you wanted us to do this day and the days to come, Heavenly Parent. We continuously pray that we can overcome this pandemic, and as people of faith, we can stay connected, that despite the challenges, Heavenly Parent, we will emerge victorious and attend you and our true parents with a heart of Hyojong. Heavenly Parent, we offer to you this day and the words that we are going to listen to, the guidance through your representative this morning, be imparted in our hearts. Imo dan malsam cukbok jum singgajong Roberto Michelle Mendoza, eromoro pogohago, aroet samneda, June.
True. Thank you very much, our brother Robert, for such a fervent prayer. And now we will have our individual prayer. Adieu. 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 Brothers and sisters, it is now time to unmute our ears, eyes, and other senses to help us listen carefully to the Hondoke reading to be read to us by the head teacher of the Junior High School Department, Sonwa International Academy, Mr. Jarwin Mali.
Good morning, heavenly parents and true parents. Good morning, leaders. Good morning, brothers and sisters. For today's Sanduka reading, we shall continue reading the book Mother of Peace, a memoir by Hakjahan. We are now in the chapter 7. Today's growing pains bring tomorrow's sunshine. Subtopic: A university changing the world. A helicopter plants seeds of love. The movie The Shawshank Redemption made a deep impression on me. The main character is a man who is unjustly imprisoned, endures prison life for many years, and finally escapes in search of freedom. Father Moon was unjustly imprisoned 6 times, and that similarity with the main character made this film move my heart. At the very end of the movie, the liberated prisoner writes in a letter, "Hope is a good thing, maybe the best of things. No good thing ever dies. Hope, love, friendship, and beauty are unchanging, no matter how much time passes, and their value is eternal. Love awakens hope and courage in the most hopeless of circumstances. Today, many people have lost their moral direction and we lament the dominance of materialism. The only way to heal this pain is by living lives of true love for the sake of others, not thinking about oneself. I open my eyes at daybreak and begin each day with prayer and meditation. I think very carefully about what I will do for whom, and then I act on that. Religious teachings and political and social reforms are important, but we cannot create a happy world through this alone. True love is giving a pair of socks with your whole heart to your neighbor who is shivering from the cold. Sometimes it is sacrificing completely for an utter stranger whom you may never see again. True love is giving and forgetting that you gave. Today, the Unification Church is recognized as a worldwide religion, but into the 1970s, we didn't even have a decent church building. My husband and I used all the money that church members donated for the sake of society and the world. When missionaries went overseas, they left with just a suitcase. They had to find work on their own and use the money they made to run their own centers. They dedicated the donations that came in to establish schools and medical clinics and to fund voluntary service. We have practiced this ethic of sacrificial service for the past 60 years. In Korean, Aewon means a guardian of love. In 1994, Father Moon and I established a service organization, the Aewon Bank, to enable all people to share love in Korea. It is not a literal bank. It brings people together to offer voluntary services, everything from the provision of free meals to concerts for charity to international aid. In order to expand this further, I established the Wonmo Pyonghae Scholarship Foundation. This actually was the first major action I took after my husband passed away. Monetary offerings of condolence flooded in from all over the world, and I saved all of it as a seed money for this purpose. I also sold the helicopter we had used for our mission work and added that money to those funds. It all went into an endowment, out of which we have been able to give $10 million in scholarships to help educate talented people for the future. Excellent students from all over the world, including Korea, Japan, Southeast Asia, Africa, Europe, and America are benefiting from this scholarship. Of course, I heard some people buzzing about that. I heard that Mother Moon is selling the helicopter she and Father Moon used together, one would say, and another would respond, it's such a historic artifact. Shouldn't it be in a museum? While I respect expressions of regret over the sale of the helicopter and completely understand the sentiments, I made the decision. It is for the sake of our future leadership. While it is important to honor the past, it is more important to teach God's word and raise future generations of faithful leaders. The truth that education shapes young people and that young people shape the future will never change. To ensure a bright future, it is absolutely necessary to raise up youth of talent, wisdom, and virtue. Wanmo is made up of, of the Chinese characters Wan, meaning round, and Mo, meaning mother. In the family, it is the mother who embraces each family member with love, despite their different personalities, and guides the family towards harmony. Pyongyang means to take care of the less fortunate so all can stand on an equal plane in a cosmos of true love. I set the foundation for such education to endure beyond the generations. When children play with a spinning top, it is hard for them at first, but once it starts spinning, they can keep it spinning with minimal effort. A scholarship endowment is the same. It is difficult to establish, but once it is up and running, it is not too difficult to keep going. Education takes time. We need to erect a wall to block the wind and watch our offspring 24 hours a day so they can grow into beautiful and moral adults. It takes 9 months in a mother's womb to create a life. Even after such a period of preparation, a baby cannot walk overnight. Children need to go through a period of growth. I forget myself when doing this kind of work. When I put others first, I feel I am living a life of true goodness. If we devote ourselves to the people around us with a heart that nothing we give for God's purposes will go to waste, we will find true happiness. When we are not fixated on our personal happiness, God will come to us. The future Joshua's and Caleb. To raise future leaders in 2015, I founded Global Top Gun Youth, which teaches enthusiastic young people from all over the world how to contribute to world peace and the salvation of humankind by living for the sake of others. Among biblical figures, I point GY students, Joshua and Caleb, who attended Moses in the wilderness. Throughout their lives, Joshua and Caleb remained loyal to heaven, and they lead the chosen people into Canaan. Caleb completely united with Joshua and devoted himself to the cause of the nation and its people. I am raising outstanding young men and women through Global Top Gun Youth to be like Joshua and Caleb and lead the world into the promised land. Aju.
Aju. Thank you very much, Teacher Jarwin, for reading to us the God's words and True Parents' word today. Brothers and sisters, let us send our virtual clap to Heavenly Parent and True Parents. And of course, it is important for us to listen to the 10 points of gratitude that will be said to us by our teacher, Maloney Mijares.
Good morning, Heavenly Parent and true parents of heaven, earth, and humankind. Good morning to all our leaders.
Ano yung microphone mo, Maloney?
Okay, good morning again, Heavenly Parent and true parents of heaven, earth, and humankind. Good morning to all our leaders, blessed families, and brothers and sisters. It's my pleasure to share my 10 points of gratitude. Let me begin with number 1. I am grateful to Heavenly Parent for all the blessings, most especially for the gift of life, an opportunity to live in order for me to fulfill my responsibility and to experience His love and greatness every day. Number 2, I am grateful to true parents for being the savior of all humanity and for enlightening myself of what path I need to take. I am also thankful because I was educated by the divine principle that saved my life and gives light and hope not only to myself but also to my ancestors, family, and coming generations. Number 3, I am grateful to all our great leaders that working so hard in the Providence. They continuously giving inspiration for us to keep on moving forward. They are our role model of how to become filial sons and daughters to heavenly parents and true parents. I am grateful also to all blessed families and brothers and sisters for all their hard works and continuously supporting and loving our beloved true mother. Number 4, I am grateful for this morning devotion, even if it is virtual. I could say that the words of God are transparent. It can still reach out each one of us, even if we are far from each other, but of course, with the help of the modern technology. Thank you very much to our national leader for everyday guidance that serves as our spiritual food. It makes myself inspired and motivated to continue do my responsibility despite of all the challenges. Number 5, I am grateful to my Shia family who gave me a lot of opportunities to grow and develop myself in the field of education. I had a chance to teach young people, including blessed children. True parents built a school to educate young ones, not just only externally, but also internally, including, of course, my alma mater, IPLC, that has a great impact of who I am today. Number 6, I am grateful to my spiritual family, most especially to my spiritual mother, who is in Korea right now. Because of her, I met true parents that totally changed my life. I am thankful to my spiritual mother for all her support from the start when I was still studying in IPLC, when I joined the blessing, and up until this time. Number 7, I am grateful to my biological family who are always there to support in everything that I do, and also to my spouse who's very hardworking and supportive. Number 8, I am grateful to all the challenges that I've encountered every day. Through those challenges, it helps myself to learn, grow, and be matured. Number 9, I am thankful to all the frontliners at these trying times who are working hard to help those who are in need of their service. And lastly, number 10, I am grateful to all the blessings that I receive every day that includes protection and good health. I am thankful for another year of my life because today is my birthday, and it's timely because I had a chance to share my points of gratitude during my birthday. I am so blessed and grateful for everything to Heavenly Parent and true parents. That would be all my 10 points of gratitude. Thank you very much for listening and have a great day.
Wow, thank you very much, Sister Maloney. Happy birthday. There are a lot of things to be thankful. And now, brothers and sisters, we would like to show you and offer to you an offering song that will be rendered to us by the preschool department.
Basta nun tong masong, oh masong, worship His name. Sing like never before, all I saw, I worship You, oh
Aren't they very cute? They are our children in Sanwa International Academy, the second generations. And just their voice is enough for us to be inspired for this morning, right, brothers and sisters? And later we'll be talking more about Sonwa, and those who would wanted to know more about our academy, later we will announce. And at this point in time, I know that we already feel inspired. We are all God's children with a pure heart and mind. Then we are now ready to listen to the internal guidance of our national leader, a very passionate leader, Reverend Leo Angelo Halog.
Thank you very much to our beloved Ma'am Lorna, the principal of Songhua International Academy, and to all our precious and beloved brothers and sisters from Songhua for all your heartfelt sharing, especially our sister Maluni also celebrating her birthday. Happy birthday, Maluni. And to our wonderful children of Songhua, thank you very much for your wonderful song. And the Songhua family. So yesterday, we were very inspired yesterday seeing our beloved True Mother. We participated very special ceremony. That is the first time happened the Hyojong Youth Blessing Festival. And then we could see how happy our True Mother was yesterday. Really, the young people, the youth, are really the great hope of not only our nation, but the whole world. We could see how much through parents, and then also today we could learn from the reading how much through mother, of course through parents, even through father, invested for young people. They really wanted to raise up filial children, especially yesterday, emphasizing the value of purity, keeping purity, and then before blessing, receiving the blessing. So yesterday, True Mother was so happy actually to see our young people making their commitment. Some of our children participated yesterday. That was really historical. Yeah, so let's really appreciate always our beloved True Mother who's really investing so much. Yeah, and also yesterday we had many activities. Actually, we were very busy. Yesterday we had the activity also of the National Council of Women of the Philippines, also very successful. Thank you very much also to all our leaders, Women's Federation, and also UPF. And also yesterday we had our first day of the National Youth Forum. Thank you very much for all your dedication. Brothers and sisters, yesterday we completed our 12 days condition. Really, it was very inspiring. And then the government, they were very inspired with the presentations of our leaders. They were really amazed. So really, we are now living in completely different time in our country. Also, we are now harvesting the fruits of all the investment and hard work of all leaders and beloved brothers and sisters, the pioneers in the past. So we are truly blessed. Let's really do our best to fulfill Heavenly Parents' dream and expectation from our nation. Thank you all to all brothers and sisters. So this morning, I would like to share with you so today is day 57 of our National Morning Devotion. Before I begin, I would like first to really thank and really greet our Heavenly Parent and True Parents, all our beloved leaders, the central families, beloved brothers and sisters. Good morning to all of you. Thank you very much for joining every day our morning devotion. So this morning, I would like to share this topic entitled Belief, the Starting Point of Faith. So let's study together. So Father said, faith is the path each person must walk in search of God. Faith should be nurtured through a direct vertical relationship between God and each individual. So when we talk about faith, this is Father's explaining here that faith should be nurtured through direct vertical relationship between God and each individual. That's why we cannot rely. Sometimes we just rely with some of our brothers or sisters. But actually, when we talk about life of faith, this is everybody's, individual. We are walking this individual path. This should be nurtured between us and Heavenly Parent. We cannot, just rely our faith to other people. We cannot just go with the flow and follow what is going on, centering on other people, our close friends. Sometimes when we join our church, some people they join, of course, in the beginning our motivation is not that clear yet, right? But we have to really understand that when we talk about life of faith, this is between God and us, and this should be nurtured directly with this vertical relationship. So faith is the path each person must walk in search of God. So in our search of God, faith is necessary, right? So this is really important. And then as we live our life in this course, we have to continue to strengthen, nurture, cultivate our relationship to our Heavenly Parent and us, this kind of relationship. So Father said, why do we lead a life of faith? Why do we lead a life of faith? It is to invest a higher form of energy that transcends our individual selves. Its direction is toward the world of higher realm, not the fallen world in which we now live. That is why theories that deny God's existence are groundless. So, Father is asking, why do we lead a life of faith? So it is to invest a higher form of energy that transcends our individual selves. Its direction is toward the world of higher realm, not the fallen world in which we now live. So since we are living in this fallen world because of the fall, we are all fallen human beings, right? So how can we escape from this state, from this situation? That's why life of faith is necessary. This is investing to a higher form of energy that goes beyond individual self, Father is saying here. So its direction is toward the world of higher realm. So we are, in this level because of the fall. So we have to reach out to the higher realm, Father said. So we really need our life of faith. This is our search for God, right? Search for higher reality. Because as we are living in this kind of life, people are not happy even though everybody is doing their best to be happy, right? Because we are in this state because of the fall. That's why everybody is trying to search. That's why religion was came about. God allowed religion in order for people to be guided and be able to connect to the higher realm, right? So everybody is searching for Heavenly Parent, searching for God. That's why continuously people are, changing. Why? Because they are searching until this time they cannot find. That's why in this world, change became permanent, right? Because people are continuously finding Heavenly Parent, searching for Heavenly Parent. That's why everybody needs what we call life of faith. So that's why Father said here, that is why theories that deny God's existence are groundless. Actually, people are continuously searching for God, right? So that's why people needs to lead a life of faith. Father said, why do we lead a life of faith? So the measure of the life of faith is not money or any glory in this world. The center of infinite value is God alone. Therefore, we should make God the standard of our life of faith. We should not pay attention to anything besides God. So, since God is the origin, the source of our life, the source of everything, that's why Father is saying here, the center of infinite value is God alone. We should not pay attention to anything besides God. So, how can we make really God our top priority in our life? Because we are now living in this materialistic world, right? So actually people, like substitute God of, money, all material things. So that's why many people now, that's why, when we listen again from True Mother, always True Mother is, encouraging us. We have to really let all the people know about God because we lost our center because of the fall. We lost our origin, right? That's why human beings can never be happy. In the previous Sundoki, we learned that in order for us to be happy, that happiness is rooted in Heavenly Parent. That's why as long as we are not connected to God, we can never be happy. Even how much people try their best, right? Invest everything in what they are doing. As long as we are not connected to Heavenly Parent and we cannot liberate Heavenly Parent, if God cannot be happy, human beings can never be happy. Aju? So that's why the center of infinite value is God alone. So we should always only pay attention to Heavenly Parent more than anything else in this world. Aju? So the measure of life of faith, Father said, it's not money or any glory in this world, but really making God our top priority in our life. So how can we do this? How can we do and really make God our top priority? This is really, really important, right? Our life that we have now, this comes from Heavenly Parent. So we have to honor the ones who have given our life. Because without Him, without Heavenly Parent, we will not be here, right? So everything we do should be, in connection to Heavenly Parent's wish for us. Aju? That's why this is really time for us to think about and really reflect what we have done in our life, what we are doing continuously, and then how much we have to continue to invest and be able to really bring honor and glory to our Heavenly Parent who have given us life, right? And then who have given us everything. So we have to really do our best. So starting from Hunduke, we are continuously learning. So making Heavenly Parent as our top priority through studying Heavenly Parents and True Parents' words. Aju? So that's why we need to lead a life of faith in order for us to understand this point that God should be our top priority in our life. Father said, the primary thing is to have a firm faith. So the primary thing is to have a firm faith in the center. Unless you have firm faith, all your willpower and zeal is of no use. Ask yourself, what will happen to my faith if some calamity befalls me along the way? What would be your answer? So sometimes we can know exactly what kind of level of faith we have, especially if there are some, calamities. Father is asking here, if some calamity befalls me along the way, some problem, some serious things happens in our life. That's the time we can really prove how strong our faith is, right? That's why the most important, Father said, primary thing is to have a firm faith in the center. That we should, establish that kind of root, that kind of, strong faith, that no typhoon or, that's why how important to establish our own, life of faith. We cannot just rely to other people. Like, what happens, especially in this time, the last days of last days, where sometimes we are really tested. Father even mentioned not only Satan, even Heavenly Parent test us how strong our life of faith is, right? In times of, this kind of situation. Sometimes if our faith is weak, then we might lose. That's why we, some of our brothers and sisters, we are not judging anybody, but, during this time that really typhoon come to our life of faith, and we were try to be, shaken and really try to test what kind of faith we have. That's why this is really, really important. We have to really check what kind of life of faith I have, right? That's why this time is given to us to think about and really reflect and really invest more Jongsong and really effort to strengthen this life of faith in the center, centering on our Heavenly Parent and our beloved true parents. That's why this is the most important. Father said, unless you have firm faith, all your willpower and zeal is of no use. So that's why we have to ask ourselves now, Father said, what will happen to my faith if some calamity befalls me along the way? We learn in the Bible, right? And stories there of true faith, that despite the tragedies that happen, they never lose that, faith to Heavenly Parent. Continuously, the honor. The same is true. There are situations in our life, some of our blessed families are experiencing this, right? But, those who really stood up, despite the situation, then they could, confirm that their life of faith is really strong to Heavenly Parent, no matter what, right? But that's why those who didn't experience, much challenges yet, then we really need to, invest more and really make sure that no matter what happens, a Jew, we have to remain, intact and, keep that faith to Heavenly Parent and true parents no matter what. Father is asking here, why did Adam fall? He fell because he lacked faith. Faithlessness was the first cause of the fall. Consequently, we must go the way of faith. Through our faith, we should reverse the effects of our ancestors' fall due to their lack of faith. Then we can go upward. To go upward, even above the point where our ancestors fell, we must have absolute faith. So this is very important. Why Father is, always telling us, reminding us to strengthen our life of faith. So our first human ancestors, what is the main reason why they fell? Father is saying here, faithlessness was the first cause of the fall. So if also us now, believers following true parents, if our faith also is, not strong, like our first human ancestors, then we can also commit the same mistake. Then also we can ruin our life, right? That's how important it is. So faithlessness, Father said, was the first cause of the fall. So Adam fell because he lacked faith. That's why when our life of faith is weak, then we are always vulnerable to, more difficulties and really to be ruined actually and to destroy our life. That's why if you have firm faith, no matter what, we will going to move forward, right? We can, win any situation if we have strong faith, if we make God our top priority, right? That's why now many religions, because of course because of their lack of understanding also, and then this superficial faith. Now we could see, and then many religious people we can learn from history. We thought they're strong, but when things comes to their life, then they give up, right? So what is a true life of faith? It will really be tested, in times of troubles and difficulties. That's why we also have gone through such training where we have to conform how strong our life of faith is, right? Not just, you are saying you believe to God, you believe to true parents, not only that, but we have to be tested. We have to go through training of faith, right? And then we can confirm that already my life of faith is, somehow I could establish that no matter what, we can move on. We can overcome any situation. A Jew? That's why Father said, consequently, we must go the way of faith. Through our faith, we should reverse the effects of our ancestors' fall due to their lack of faith. Then we can go upward. To go upward, even above the point where our ancestors fell, we must have absolute faith, especially at that moment, when Adam and Eve were growing. That's why our young brothers and sisters also. Because everybody will be passing through this course that our first human ancestors have gone through, right? Everybody will be experiencing this. That's why if we could establish our strong faith, then we will surpass this and go forward, right? So we must have absolute faith, true Father said. That's why this is really, really important. That's why all the problems that sometimes we cannot overcome, the difficulties that we cannot overcome, this is because of our faith, the state, and then the faith that we have established. That's why this is really important to reflect on, right? Father said, to go the way of restoration, you need the Messiah. So to go the way of restoration, you need the Messiah, fulfilling the condition of faith with its three aspects: the central figure, the object for the condition, and the period of indemnity is like recovering from an illness. To be healed, you need a doctor to prescribe the prescribed remedy and a period of time. The doctor tells you, take this medicine for 3 days, or I have to give you this medical treatment each day for a week. In the same way, a sin-sick person, must keep faith in the Messiah, the Lord. He is your physician. You must believe in His word more than your own ideas. So when we are sick physically, immediately we know, and then we go to the doctor. So in order for us to be healed, so we go to the doctor, and then we were prescribed a medicine, and then we need to take this medicine in a period of time. So these are the process in order for us to be healed, right? So the same is true, Father is explaining here. So the way of restoration, we need the Messiah. So we need to fulfill also 3 conditions, because we are also, sick. We are sin sick person. Father said, so we need central figure, the object for the condition, and the period of indemnity. Right? So all of us needs to go through this. Right? We need to, that's why our absolute faith, foundation of faith, foundation of substance. These things we need to go through. First is we need to develop our faith to Heavenly Parent. And then foundation of substance. How can we, unite with our also brothers and sisters? So Heavenly Parent represented by our central figures. This is the first thing. And then horizontal relationship, develop our oneness with brothers and sisters also. And then what is the indemnity condition, and then the time period. So this is really, really important for us to recover from illness. So the way of restoration, first and foremost, absolutely we need the Messiah. We need our true parents, right? So also to go to the blessing, anong pinakauna sa atin is to establish the foundation of faith. Aju? And then after that, we go to the blessing. So that's why this time, even though we are now living in the, with all the foundations also in the past, that's why our time now became easier actually. But absolutely still, most importantly is our, our life of faith, and really connecting to the Messiah, to our beloved true parents. That's why true father and true mother, they are not just, a founder of a religion. They are not just a peacemaker. For some people, they are, very rich people, business tycoon. So many titles, people are looking at them. But for us, true parents, as what Jesus said, anyone cannot go to the Lord except through Him. Anyone cannot go to Heavenly Parent. The same is true, right? True parents is fulfilling the mission of Jesus, right? That's why without going through the Messiah, we cannot go to Heavenly Parent. That's why these 3 conditions, as when we are sick physically, these things are very important. The same is true. The central figure, and then the object for the condition, and then the time period. Sometimes also when we commit mistakes, right? So we are offering also conditions. So reporting to our central figure, and then we were given a condition, maybe 3 days fast, 7 days fast, or 12 minutes prayer, and then for how many period? 40 days, 21 days. So these things are really necessary, because we are, also sick person spiritually. So absolutely starts with our, faith with the Messiah, and really fulfilling these 3 conditions. Aju? So Father said the most critical issue is God, the object of our faith. So in our life of faith, the most critical issue is God, the object of our faith. At the same time, God, as the subject of faith, has human beings as His objects. While we human beings place God as the object of our faith, God treats us as the objects of His faith. This intersection forms the gateway in which we stand. Therefore, we should uphold God's essential teaching, sharing life and death with Him, and that at the same time, we should uphold the value of people, sharing life and death with them. So it's not only about our actually faith to Heavenly Parent. Father is saying here, of course, the most critical issue is God, the object of our faith. But at the same time, Father said, God, as the subject of faith, has human beings as His objects. So while we human beings place God as the object of our faith, God treats us as the objects of His faith. So this intersection forms the gateway in which we stand. So it's not only actually us. This is really give and take. As we consider, God, the object of our faith, the same is true. God is also considering us as His object of faith. So this intersection between God and us, this is the gateway in which to stand, Father said. So we should uphold God's essential teaching, sharing life and death with Him. So our life between Heavenly Parent, together with Heavenly Parent, this life, we are actually sharing life and death with our Heavenly Parent as we treat our Heavenly Parent as our object of faith. And the same way, also Heavenly Parent is treating us human being as His object of faith also in the same way. So we are actually in this kind of relationship with Heavenly Parent. Through this relationship, through this intersection, forms the gateway, Father said, that opens, the way to bring everything back to its original position, right? So that's why we should uphold God's essential teaching and sharing life and death with Him, Father said. So this is the first thing. And at the same time, we should uphold the value of people sharing life and death with them. The same is true with the people we are working with, especially, going through, to the vertical line. Also to our central figures, all our leaders and brothers and sisters, who are, together with us. So this is really, really important. It's really, a reciprocal relationship. It's give and take. Not only us to Heavenly Parent, and then not even also Heavenly Parent just to us. That's why this is, give and take. Both need to, fulfill the responsibilities. That is the only way. Aju? That's why tayo rin, as we make God our only hope, our true parents, our only hope, the same is true. Heavenly Parents also and true parents. Tayo rin yung hope nila. Without human beings fulfilling their responsibility, this world cannot become kingdom of heaven. Right? That's why everything is in our hands. We have to really understand the value of our responsibility. Even though God is all-powerful, right? God cannot just do, because God is following absolutely the principle that He has made. Aju? That's why human beings is playing a very important role. Lahat tayo, meron tayong napakahalagang responsibility. Without fulfilling our responsibility, kingdom of the heaven cannot be realized. It will be prolonged and prolonged. If we will not fulfill our responsibility now, it will be passed down to the next generation. It will only end until it will be realized. This is the reality. That's why no matter what, ngayong time na to, we were given the opportunity. So we have to complete in our lifetime. Kaya kasi True Mother po ngayon, True Mother want to complete everything in her lifetime. True Mother doesn't want this providence to prolong anymore. Right? Tayo rin, as the central families, as brothers and sisters who are working now in this most precious time, in this golden age, we have to complete our responsibility so that it will not be passed down anymore to our next generation, so that the next generations can live well, right, on earth. So that's why this is really important, as God and true parents relies with human beings. The same is true, ganun din si God. As human beings rely with God and true parents, the same is true with God and true parents. That's why this relationship is very, very important. Father said our attitude of faith is important. People make great mistake when they think that all they have to do is just believe in God and Jesus in order to receive God's overflowing blessings. They believe they can have everything they want without doing anything in return. That attitude of faith, it is like that of a thief who takes things without earning them. This is important. So maraming tao, they just believe. Sabi nga nila, because this is the culture, practice of the Christians, just believe and receive Jesus in your heart, then you will be saved. That's why what they are doing, they just believe and believe, but what are their actions? So that's why Father is saying here, the attitude of faith is like that of a thief who takes things without earning them. So they believe they can have everything they want without doing anything in return. That's why what happens now, people are now trying to realize now. That's why hindi po enough na naniniwala lang tayo. I believe, like for example, to God, I believe in true parents. It's not enough. As blessed central families, as brothers and sisters now living in this era, living in this time of true parents, we cannot just say that we believe to true parents. I believe to true mother completely, without doubt. It's not enough. That the starting point, right? When we say faith, Father, mentioned, faith is a concrete thing. So meaning it should be substantialized. It's not just, certain belief. So when we say faith, it should be substantialized. It should be put into action, right? It should be put into action. That's why sabi ni Father, ang mga tao raw na ang attitude is like, ang ganito lang, they just believe. They are like a thief. Parang mga magnanakaw daw sila who takes things without earning them. And Father even mentioned, like for example, we receive the blessing, tayo mga Blood Central families. So we receive the blessing and then we just live our own life. This is like also like a thief. So we believe with the blessing, right? But this blessing is not given only for us, not only for our families. As this blessing received by us, together with this blessing is responsibility. Responsibility to share this to others. Otherwise, we will also become like thief. Right? If we receive the blessing and then we just focus with our own families, and then we just yung nakafocus lang tayo sa ating pamilya. So we are also like a thief. So our belief shouldn't just remain to us. We have to really put it into practice. We have to really share this. The blessing that we have received, we have to share this to people, and then let all the people receive the blessing. Aju? That's why sabi ni Father, people make a great mistake when they think that all they have to do is just believe in God and Jesus in order to receive God's overflowing blessings. Kaya nga, ang blessings na na-receive natin, it will stop kapag, you just work until you receive it. Kaya nga, the blessing, we might lose the blessing if we will not going to share this to others. Aju, this is not just for us. Yung blessing na na-receive natin, we have to share this to others. So we shouldn't be like a thief, right? Sabi ni Father. So we have to, continue. The more we are blessed, or the people who receive the blessing, the more actually we have to invest and work harder. Not only, we work hard until we receive the blessing, and then after the blessing, we stop, right? Actually, the more God already have entrusted us the blessing, the more we have to work harder and really share the blessing that we have received from heaven. Aju, this should be our right attitude. Father said, why did Jesus undergo the way of suffering? Why did Jesus undergo the way of suffering? He did it to save the world. The Bible says, for God so loved the world. God needed Jesus to undergo his difficult course in order to prepare an environment in which God could love the people of his nation and through them to love the world. Shouldn't we who believe in Jesus join with Jesus in taking responsibility for this? So why did Jesus undergo the way of suffering? Father is asking here. So Jesus did this to save the world. So God needed Jesus to undergo his difficult course in order to prepare an environment in which God could love the people of his nation and through them to love the world. So we could see why true Father also have gone through, why our true parents. Because of the fall, everything was cut off from our Heavenly Parent. Heavenly Parent lost his children. We abandoned God, because of the fall. So that's why, the Messiah, starting from when Jesus was sent here, he is not sent here to just enjoy life, right? But Jesus, needs to really undergo suffering in order to save the world. The Bible says, for God so loved the world, that's why he gave Jesus his only begotten Son, right? So also the same is true when true parents came. The second coming. So they are needed also to prepare the environment in which God could love the people of this world. Aju? So Father is asking here, shouldn't we who believe in Jesus join with Jesus in taking responsibility for this? That's why also true parents is looking for people who can take responsibility. Heavenly Parent, not only the Messiah, right? Not only the Messiah. That's why actually now we are living in the time that this is now the time that we have to fulfill our responsibility as believers. Already actually true parents have accomplished the responsibility. That's why if we sacrifice and really take responsibility, then Heavenly Parent can embrace the world more, right? We can expand the environment where Heavenly Parent can embrace his children. If all of us will take responsibility until we reach the whole world, right? If all people, all brothers and sisters, then Heavenly parents can be able to embrace the world. Heavenly parents can embrace all children, all his children. And finally, this world can be saved. That's why it's necessary that the Messiah need to undergo suffering. The same is true with us, our elders, our pioneers. How much suffering they have gone through. Even us, even young generations now, still, meaning we have to continue to sacrifice our, our personal desires, our individual desires, our family's desires. We have to continue to sacrifice for the sake of building an ideal world, for the sake of the future generation. We cannot just think on our own. During this time, especially, true mother is investing everything, giving her whole life. Aju? That's why, sabi ni Father dito, shouldn't we who believe in Jesus join with Jesus in taking responsibility for this? That's why all of us were called. We are here. We receive the blessing, not only to live good life, but to take responsibility ourselves and help through parents. Aju? So that, it will take shorter time to complete the providence and really save all people. And we can liberate Heavenly Parent. Aju? So Father said, what does heaven long for? What does heaven long for? Not for believers, but for those who practice and substantiate their faith in their daily life. So what heaven is really longing for? Not only believers. We have many believers in this world, right? Many people believe in God. Actually, in our nation, many people believe in God. Because we are a Christian nation. Almost all people here believe in God. But God is not looking for just believers. God wanted to look for people who practice and substantiate their faith in their daily life. That's why true parents, taught us what we should do in our life while living on earth. What we should do as blood central families. We have to fulfill our minimum mission, right? Of fulfilling, our mission of Heavenly Tribal Messiah, liberating our 430 generations. Always we are coming back to this point. So today we will be learning more about this in our Sunday service today that will be given by our Jimmy. So what is really heaven longing for? So we have to be that people, right? We, the blood central families, we shouldn't miss this opportunity. We should really be remembered yesterday in the lectures that, Sir Julius was sharing also, what kind of legacy we want to leave, what kind of, thing, that we want people to remember through us later on when we pass on to the spiritual world. Last night we had the songwa of the mother of Ate Melody from Korea. So when, we participate songwa ceremony, it's really, good reminder for us. So what kind of legacy we want to leave? That's why we are really blessed people. That's why no matter what, we have to fulfill our responsibilities. Aju, and really make our descendants, our ancestors proud of us. The next generations will going to study not only true parents' life, but even the people who have lived side by side, live together with true parents, work together with them. These are us, the blood central families. We are historical people. Father said we are modern saints and sages. And then we are actually sons and daughters of Heavenly Parents, the highest among any, title, right? We are sons and daughters of Heavenly Parent. We have to be remembered as really true sons and daughters. Even though it's really difficult, brothers and sisters, it's not easy. But, having this in mind and really trying our best every day. Heavenly Parents is with us. Our true parents, true mother. That's why we can do this because true mother is with us. Aju, no matter what, as long as we are alive, we will be victorious. Because we are the people that really true parents and Heavenly Parents is really looking for. That's why no matter what, we cannot disappoint the Heavenly Parent and true parents. We will all be victorious. Aju? Aju. So, Father said our attitude of faith is important. You cannot go this path having an old-fashioned faith, just believing and expecting everything will be solved and accomplished by itself. We must go forward with the right attitude of faith, with determination to survive and neutralize the powers of death that may confront us. Passion, faith, endeavor, and endurance, all these are necessary to receive the first level of inheritance from heaven. So our attitude is really, really important more than anything. Right? We learn already that really our attitude is the most important more than anything. Father said, you cannot go this path having an old-fashioned faith, just believing and expecting everything will be solved and accomplished by itself. That's why now, our effort is more needed now. What we can do. That's why it's not enough that we just, say our promise, our determination. Heavenly Parents is really waiting for the things that we will be doing, right? That's why we have to really change and really think more deeply and reflect that this time, Heavenly Parents, true Mother needed me the most this time. Aju, Heavenly Parents and true parents, true Mother, needed us so much this time. Our efforts, our investments, we have to continue to increase. Blessed and our families who will going to fulfill the basic mission and responsibility. We have to really encourage everybody, brothers and sisters. So as we increase, it will also, the scope of, the fulfillment of Heavenly Parents' dream will also increase continuously. That in True Mother's lifetime, True Mother want to complete. True Mother's dream is just at least 1/3 of the world population. That's why also minimum in our nation, we have also to think of 1/3. So in our nation by 2027, it will be 40 million people. How to reach 40 million people? At least we could reach them. So that's why we were given this great blessing now. It's not only because of pandemic, actually, that's why it opens this way of virtual now. Actually, because of the goal of Heavenly Parents and true parents, reaching out 1/3. Can you imagine if we will do it physically, it's impossible to reach 1/3, right? That's why through Heavenly Parents open this way. It just happened that during the pandemic time, but Heavenly Parents already prepared this so that we can reach all people in different corners of our nation, in different corners of the world, so that we can reach the goal of True Mother. As we read True Mother's autobiography, we could read, that all the promises of True Mother. Yet last night also I'm reading, True Mother promised when she was young that she will going to bear many children. True Mother fulfilled that, life and death. And then True Mother promised in 2020 she will offer 7 nations and restore 7 denominations. True Mother could do that, could fulfill that. So now True Mother's desire is to reach 1/3 of the world population, for all of us to offer 1/3 of the world population. For sure, no matter what, True Mother will accomplish this. That's why this era of virtual now opens up. It's not only because of the pandemic, but it is to reach out 1/3 of the world population. Aju, that's why no matter what, together with our beloved True Mother, let's work hand in hand and really offer more this time. Invest more to fulfill True Mother's desire. Even if, even before 2027, True Mother will be happier, right? And then we can accomplish more. And really, we can really build the substantial channel book. We can truly become citizens of channel book, and we can really prepare the environment for the second, third generation, for the next generations to come. Aju, this is really, really amazing time for us. That's why all our blessed families, our leaders, brothers and sisters, thank you so much for all your continuous dedication. Let's really invest more and really bring comfort to Heavenly Parent and to our beloved True Mother. Aju, that's why more than, any time in the providence, this is now the best time, the golden time. That's why we shouldn't miss this opportunity. No matter what, we have to be victorious sons and daughters of Heavenly Parent. Aju, let's really appreciate our Heavenly Parents and true parents. Thank you very much to all brothers and sisters. May God's blessings be upon you and your families. 감사합니다. Thank you.
Thank you very much, our Reverend Leo Angelo Halog, our national leader, for that message. Every day, you're sharing to us a very beautiful message that can guide us to improve our mindset and heartfelt attendance in life. Today's message is about faith. And a while ago, we have listened to the 10 points of gratitude and the offering song that is entitled 10 Reasons. There are a lot of reasons, brothers and sisters, to be kind, to be thankful, to be grateful, and of course, to be faithful. So what is faith if we will not take an action, or we will not convert it into action. True Mother really need all of us to be more responsible to realize the Vision 2020 and 2027. And at this point in time, we will be listening to some of our teachers in Sonwa for their reflection related to the internal guidance given to us by our national leader. We categorize the reflections to be given by our blessed family, to be given by one of those who were matched, and also represented by a soon-to-be blessing candidate. And a while ago, Maloney, who is one of those who received the blessing, have given the 10 points. And let's begin with our blessed family, or representing the blessed family, Mrs. Miriam Vergara. She is our Academy Guidance Coordinator. Teacher Miriam.
Good morning to everyone. Good morning, Heavenly Parent and true parents. Good morning, leaders, brothers, and sisters. Thank you very much for this wonderful message that you have given again to each one of us. This really enlightened my heart. It's life of faith. It really instructs me and come to ask myself, how's your faith? How's my faith now? Especially now that we are facing this pandemic, and it really makes our life, it is really another situation again that adds somehow problems to our life, a situation that we need to overcome it. But then, as this really remind me that in our life of faith, we need to really have such kind of check. Do we have that right attitude in doing the things that you want to realize, just like God? God and true parents really have faith in us. God and true parents have really invested a lot for us because He really have faith in us. But how about us? How about me? I asked to myself, how about me? Did I really have such kind of absolute faith to God? As I am reflecting, I was reminded of my motivation, why I joined the church before. Way back before, when I was still not blessed. Of course, my determination before is I have to really ease the pain from God's heart, to liberate the aching heart of God. That was my determination before. And up until now, as I am looking at our beloved true mother, even at her old age until now, she is really doing her best to let all people understand the heart of God, to stop the suffering of all humankind, and of course, the suffering of God, our beloved true parents. This is really the desire of our beloved true mother. And of course, the desire of our heavenly parent. And this is also my desire before and until now. So I was reminded again, how far have you done for God and true parents? I was reminded of my motivation, why I joined the church before. Truly, our true mother is really telling us in order that we could support and help save this world to realize a heavenly holy community. We have to be victorious tribal Messiah. We have to really witness to our 430 couples. Of course, in this pandemic time, it's not easy to witness, but if we believe and we have to really put it into practice, we can do it. This 430 couple, we can educate them, not only even though we cannot reach them out because of this pandemic physically, but through this virtual, we can really, as our national leader said a while ago, it has purpose. This time has a purpose to easily reach out all people through online, through virtual. We can do it as long as we really have that right attitude, that right kind of faith. And not only faith in it, we have to put it into action. We have to do something to really fulfill that faith. We have to substantialize it. We have to really do our best to do it, to guide, to share the blessing to all people surrounding us, especially the mission that our true parents have entrusted to us, which is we have to become a tribal Messiah, a victorious tribal Messiah. And these 42 couples and these 430 couples that we are educating must also become a heavenly tribal Messiah. And thus, if everyone will have this kind of heart, if everyone will have this kind of desire, commitment, of course, we can totally substantiate and we can totally be successful in having that so-called heavenly holy community that our true parents, our true mother is really desiring for. Another point that I want to emphasize is that in this time, we have to really also educate our children, especially now that they are really, sometimes I just want to take example for my children, because I am a mother also of 3 children, one girl and 2 boys. We have to inculcate to them the right faith. We have to let them understand that not by just telling to them that you have to believe in true parents, you have to believe in true father, you have to believe in true mother, but we have to really start it as long as early as they are young, because in order for them to, and we have to show them the right attitude. Every day, hondoke. We have to let them realize and understand the importance of hondoke, because as I am observing my children, sometimes because of some situation, we were not able to do the hondoke, and then they will not also do the hondoke. They will not listen also. And then I was reminded before that we have to read the divine principle 100 times. And then I keep in doing it religiously. But I am telling to my children, why you are not reading also? Because Papa is not reading also. Oh my God. So that's why we have to really, this remind me that we have to show, we have to let them, we have to do it starting within ourselves in order that they will imitate us. Okay. It's not only faith. You have to believe, you have to do this like this. But without showing it to them the right attitude, of course, they will not really believe in you. So that's what I want to emphasize, because this really remind me before. That's why I talk. We have to always be reminded of ourselves that before we are going in, or before we are going to say something, it's better that we have to really show it, put it into practice first. And in order that if we are going to tell to them, and then it's easy for them to just follow and believe in it. So that's how that's how I understand faith it is. Because faith without doing it is useless. That's why um, we have to always put into practice everything that our true parents is really trying us to do, because our true parents are really the one who show us the way. They taught us everything. They showed us everything. They teach us and showed us such kind of absolute faith. So we have to also inherit such kind of faith. So we have to really understand absolutely the heart of our true parents, our true mother, who is really desperately doing her part. So that is also my desire. I wish I could also do my best, and I could also impart this to my children and to my 43 couples and to our tribe. So I would like then to express my deepest gratitude for always reminding us and giving us life through these guidances. Thanks so very much po for this message. That's all I can say.
And thank you very much, Teacher Miriam. Yeah, it is really true that we should all walk with faith all together as brothers and sisters, as a family. Let's all walk together. Walang nauuna, walang nahuhuli. Let's all walk together with our faith. Next is our registrar, Miss Christine Libres. Christine. Let us listen also to the inspiration of our sister Christine Libres.
Yes, good morning, Ma'am Lorna. Good morning, Sir L.A. And good morning, our brothers and sisters. So, my reflection about our from the guidance of our national leader. So, it is living of our life of faith. So, what I have reflected is living a life of faith. It is an everyday outward expression of love of our heavenly parents and true parents. And also, it is living our life of faith can be as simple as just having a positive attitude. So, when I studied in IPLC, so it is really training for me in order for me to strengthen my life of faith and also doing mission, especially when I did mission in other country and my companion is from different country. So two of us are Filipino and my commander is Filipino also, and that is my um, it is really a training for me for my life of faith and also having a positive attitude, especially for my companion, that they are very like we have different fallen nature. They have strong fallen nature, but still, if you have a positive attitude, your heart should be humble always, so your faith will be strengthened. And also, living a life of faith is not possible unless there is an action in our part. So if we believe in ourselves that we can do it, and just like something that always saying we can do it, but if we cannot put it into action, so it is useless also. So now that I am working in Sunwa, and I'm so thankful and grateful because my life of faith becomes stronger, and because I am surrounded with my brothers and sisters, and also blessed families, and Mom Lorna, Tita Heidi, and also Sir Robert, and all our brothers and sisters, the teachers. So they are, sometimes I'm relying my faith with other people, because if me myself, my life of faith, sometimes ups and down, it's waving, but still, I am grateful for everything that I have experienced um, before in IPLC. That is a real training and real battle for me in how I overcome myself and strengthen my life of faith because of those experiences, hard experiences that I experienced in IPLC. So living my life of faith is like something that um, making our heavenly parents and true parents as our top priority. So whatever, how, no matter how busy we are, and whatever circumstances and obstacles and struggles that we may encounter along the way in our life, so we should always strengthen our life of faith. So we need to have an absolute faith, absolute love, and absolute obedience always to our central figure and to our leaders. So it is uh, our basis and our foundation also on how we are going to live our life of faith. And this time that I am taking this level of responsibility, and hopefully I could do more and inspire more young people, and also do my work with sincere heart in uh, yes, and also um, I'm so thankful and grateful also for my family, my spiritual and biological family, because they are also my, sometimes I'm relying on them also for my life of faith. Yes, and also living my life of faith is keeping my purity and my dignity towards our heavenly parents and true parents. In also, now that I am much with the Asian brother, and I'm so thankful and grateful because he has a strong faith than me. And yes, every day I take this challenge na because we have different language, and we have different time in doing our condition, but still we understand each other's heart because of our faith to our heavenly parents and true parents. And that is the most important thing, to really to work our relationship towards our heavenly parents and true parents, and also uh, always have a vertical alignment to our central figure and our leaders and our brothers and sisters. And maybe that's all. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Christine. Christine is a very kind sister and with a pure heart as well. Thank you for your hard works every day. I guess we supposed to listen to one more reflection, but we are running out of time. So please, anyway, the next one who is going to give the final guidance is also part of the family of Sonwa International Academy. He is our chairman, and at the same time, our president, vice president for Asia Pacific 1. no other than, Asia Pacific 2 na pala tayo. No other than our Dr. Julius Malikben. Thank you very much. Welcome, Sir Julius. Good morning po.
Yeah, thank you very much, Ma'am Lorna. Thank you to our national leader at sa lahat po ng brothers and sisters. It's a beautiful Sunday morning today. And thank you sa Sonwa family for leading this Hundokhe. Very important guidance we received today from our true parents, talking about belief, no? The starting point of life of faith. I'm not sure if you can still remember how you started your life of faith after knowing the principle. But when you look back, sometimes there's something that happens in your life that it cannot be explained. Like suddenly you just want to follow true parents. It's like a trigger, you know, na pag nasimulan, mahirap bawiin, no? You know, some brothers and sisters try to even run away from the principle, but they keep coming back. This is actually the value of yung initial na belief. It's like a trigger for us to go back to God. And you know, it usually starts small. Hindi naman yung faith natin so much na biglang malaki, no? That's why even though faith looks like small in the beginning, but it grows, no? It grows. It is once we nurtured our faith, then it can grow. You know, it's like laying bricks one after the other. So hindi naman biglahan yun. And then, so as True Father said in the guidance given by our national leader, faith is the person that must walk in search of God. So faith, it's like the way for us to go back to God, okay? And then nurture through direct vertical relationship with God. So first, I would like to explain about searching for God. You know, faith, they say can move mountains, right? Faith can move mountains. Why? Why faith can move mountains? Sabi doon sa Bible, no? If you have faith as small as a mustard seed, you can say to this mountain, move from here to there, and it will move. Nothing will be impossible for you. So that is in the book of Matthew. So ang ganda-ganda, no? As even just a very small amount of faith, like a mustard seed, a very small seed, that's already enough for you to say to this mountain, move from here to there. It means you can overcome anything. You can do anything. It's like doing impossible things. That's why because belief means you are not doing alone. So it's like saying na, okay, if I will do this alone, impossible. But since I'm not doing it alone, then it is possible. I can do it. So yun yung faith. That is the element of faith na kailangan natin. So that's why life of faith is affirming that we cannot do it alone. No? No matter how much we try to remove our sins, for example, it just keeps coming back. No? No matter what we want to try to remove original sin, we cannot remove by ourselves. So it's an affirmation na I cannot do it alone. I need a higher form of energy. I need God. I need true parents. So that's why, you know, in our life of faith, we are like reversing the fall, right? Adam and Eve lost faith in God. So the first thing that we need to do, okay, I need God. I believe in God. I believe in true parents. And then that is the starting point. So it's like confirming that there's something wrong in me and I cannot treat myself. I cannot cure my own self. So it starts from there. Yung aaminin natin that there's something wrong in us and I cannot do it. I cannot cure it by myself. So it's like confirming I need God, I need true parents. So that is why, you know, as Father said, faith is the person must walk in search of God, and then it is nurtured through vertical relationship with God. Ibig sabihin nito, nurtured through direct vertical relationship. What does it mean? Direct vertical relationship. It is between us and God. Of course, we have central figures, you have leaders, pero they cannot do it for us. I remember a story I shared one time about the parable of the 10 virgins. If you still remember, di ba yung 5 wise virgins and the 5 foolish virgins. Tapos yung 5 foolish virgins, they did not prepare oil for their lamp. May dala-dala silang lamp, but they didn't put oil in it. But the 5 wise virgins, nilagyan nila ng oil. And so when the time comes, they were waiting for the groom to come, hanggang umabot na ng gabi, hanggang nakatulog na sila. And when the groom suddenly comes, then it's very dark, right? So yung mga mayroong lamp, then they have something that can guide them to go to the room, to the hall where they need to gather. Tapos yung mga 5 na walang lamp, walang oil, sabi nila, oh, we don't have oil. Can we borrow some of your oil? And then sabi nung 5 wise virgins, they said, no, this is just enough for us. So, ibig sabihin nito, we cannot borrow faith. This is our own portion of responsibility, as emphasized in the reading shared by our national leader. So we cannot borrow life of faith, we cannot borrow faith, we cannot borrow belief. This is our own portion of responsibility. And then what I like also about this guidance by true parents, we were reminded about, when we are making conditions of foundation of faith, di ba, ni-remind ni True Father yung 3 bagay. We need a central figure. We need required offering or the object for the condition. And then we need required indemnity period, right? Time period. Now the question is, who is that central figure? Now, who is that central figure in this foundation of faith? Tayo yun. Us. You. You are the central figure. So that is why we cannot rely on others' faith. They can guide us, they can inspire us, but it is still us. What if we put our faith centering on another person? What if that person suddenly disappears? What if this person suddenly denies true parents? So wala na rin tayo. So that's why this is our connection between us and God, between us and true parents. And then final point, we cannot be an onlooker in our life of faith. True Father emphasized about that. No? True Father actually said, in leading life of faith, you cannot be a spectator. Hindi pwedeng parang nanonood ka lang, wow, ang galing-galing ni True Mother, ang galing-galing ni True Father. No? Father said, you follow me, but you should not practice your life of faith centered on me. You should not practice your life of faith centered on me. You have to practice it centered on yourself. Sabi yan ni True Father. You have to practice life of faith centered on yourself. So you must preserve your way of faith irrespective of what others do. So it's very clear how True Father want us to really own our own faith. No, hindi yung kaibigan ko kasi nag-follow kay True Parents, so follow na rin ako. Parang yung mention din ni Kuya L.A. kanina, parang sumasama lang sa agos. This kind of faith, it's like standing on not a solid foundation. Just like a castle built on the house built on the sand. Pagdating ng unos, pagdating ng problema, pagdating ng persecution, easily collapse. So that kind of life of faith. So that's why we have to, once we follow true parents, that's good. You determine to follow true parents, that's good starting point, pero it doesn't end from there. We have to nurture, we have to strengthen life of faith. And how do we strengthen life of faith? By action. Foundation of faith and foundation of substance. Without taking responsibility, without taking action, without being involved in the providence, eventually, mawawala din yung faith na yun. So faith and substance, they go together. And then as you accumulate results, and then that faith is strengthened and becomes bigger and bigger. And then more responsibility, take responsibility, and then we follow true parents' direction, we follow true mother's direction, and then that faith becomes increasing and increasing. So this is the dynamics in foundation of faith and foundation of substance. So as we have to really upgrade our life of faith. And then we can walk together with our true mother. This time, really tremendous advancement of the providence. We can see yesterday, True Mother celebrated the beauty and of the tradition of the blessing. So, kumbaga, of course, we celebrated tayo lang, our members, But time will come, the whole world need to celebrate, no, blessing together, no? There's no other way, there's no other solution to go back to God, only through the blessing. So it's a very beautiful celebration. We could, through Mother, could emphasize the value of blessing, the purity, preparation for the blessing. Ang ganda-ganda, no? So that's why this is our faith, and this is our, kumbaga, commitment, no? Faith, it should be followed by commitment. We need to do something, support True Mother in this very important time. I would just like to mention, kasi yesterday was very inspiring. This is the first time that we could have this national education program for young leaders, for youth leaders. And then all the participants are from all over the nation, mostly mga SK. Inspiring about that is that we are not just doing it alone. Representatives from the government, the National Security Council was there, National Youth Commission, of course, was there. And then, it's like finally they can feel something na ang ganda-ganda ng teachings natin. We owe it from our true parents. This is now the time na we have to reveal the beautiful teachings of our true parents, the thought and the principle that we've learned from our true parents. Eventually, all people need to realize ang ganda ng teachings ni true parents. So, and yesterday was that breakthrough, and today is the second day. So please continue in praying for the success of this youth forum, National Youth Forum. So once again, thank you for the support of everyone and your Chongsong and your commitment to follow our beloved True Mother in this very important time. So let's have a beautiful Sunday. Kamsahamnida.
Thank you very much, Sir Julius. Indeed, it's very loud and clear, brothers and sisters. We cannot borrow faith. We have to carry our own portion of responsibility, and let's walk together hand in hand. Thank you once again. And at this point in time, let's move to the closing prayer. Let us have Sister Edilyn Matbagan to say the closing prayer.
Good morning, leaders, elders, brothers, sisters. Please join me in our closing prayer. Dearest Heavenly Parent, beloved true parents of heaven, earth, and humankind. First of all, we would like to give thanks for this wonderful day and for the extensions of our life, wherein we gathered again for this morning Hunduke and had received more guidance and inspiration from our national leader, Leo Angelo Halo. Heavenly Parent, we were very much grateful that even though we were facing a big challenge in our life of faith, especially in this time, the COVID-19 pandemic, still we received so much blessings, love, and inspiration from you through our leaders, elders, and brothers and sisters. That this morning devotion, we truly gain more power and determination to really move forward. As our national leader, message for today, in supporting with the internal guidance of our Vice National Leader of Asia Pacific, Sir Julius, they explain the importance of our life of faith, that our faith should be nurtured through a direct vertical relation between God and each individual, and its direction is toward the world of highest will, and that we should live centering on Heavenly Parent, and Heavenly Parent is our top priority. Heavenly Parent, thank you so much for this precious guidance for today, and we believe that when our life of firm is firm, we will not easily be shaken by any challenges and difficulties that we may encounter along the way. So I pray that with all our leaders, elders, brothers and sisters, Heavenly Parent, that we should work together and take action, Heavenly Parent,
centering on our beloved true parents, that we should align ourselves, Heavenly Parent, centering on our beloved true mother, centering on our beloved true mother's direction, Heavenly Parent, and to really offer her victory, to really comfort her heart, and also to give joy and happiness to our beloved Heavenly Parent. Again, thank you so much, Heavenly Parent, for this wonderful message that we received today. And please be with us throughout this day. All this I pray and report in our names, Froilan and Hedelin Matbagan, blessed central families. Adieu.
Thank you very much, Sister Hedelin Matbagan, for that closing prayer. And now we will have our individual prayer. Adieu, adieu, adieu. That ends our morning devotion, brothers and sisters. Please allow me to extend my greetings and gratitude to Heavenly Parent, to true parents, to all our brothers and sisters in US who are joining us live, in Japan, in the Philippines, and to the entire Asia Pacific. Also to our leaders, Dr. and Mrs. Kittel, Dr. and Mrs. Malikdem, to our Professor Ronnie Sudusta, to our national leader, Leo Angelo Halog. Thank you very much. Good morning and happy Sunday to all of us. Have a blessed Sunday po.
Thank you so much, Shia family. Thank you so much, Ma'am Lord. Thank you so much, brothers and sisters, for joining our morning devotion. See you later in our Sunday service. 10 a.m.
Just a
Thank
short
you.
announcement. Sunwa is now open for enrollment.